airplane mode and turn notifications off so there's not things popping up all the time. And then I'll have like, what I find really helpful is to sort of map out what I'm going to do each day down to like a couple of hours. So I'll say, 2 hours to work on this, 2 hours to work on that. And then sometimes when I'm being really hardcore, I'll set my alarm. So when it gets to the end of the hour, the 2 hours, then I have to stop. And I just think that helps you like do really focused work, but just sitting at the desk for 8 hours and not having a break isn't going to work. So I'll work on one thing, probably go off and have like, a couple of biscuits, come back and work on the next thing, go for a walk around the park, come back and work on the next thing, check my phone and speak to a friend, and then just break up your day like that.
Yeah, I think the notification is good because I do check my phone, looking at social media, looking at emails, keep constantly refreshing. And before I know it, like 30 minutes could easily have gone from my day when I've got things that I need to get done.
If you check your settings, it'll tell you how much you use your phone. And I told my friend to do it the other day, and she used it for 6 hours.
That's scary.
Hours in a day?
6 hours, and that's just, flicking from one app to the other, looking on Facebook, Instagram, getting lost in the rabbit hole, looking at food pics.
Yeah, I have to log myself out, so I can't. I know I can still click on and log back in, but it kind of, when I do, it reminds me, it goes, oh no, remember, like, don't.
Yeah. I've set this new screen saver on my phone. I don't know what it's called, screen lock, I don't know. Anyway, it only allows me to use social media for 1 hour per day on my phone. So when it gets to an hour, and that's collectively across all the apps, it'll then say, right, you're locked out. And then I can press it to continue. But it makes you conscious. I was like, oh my God, an hour. And then I was like, well, that's not enough. So I've increased it to 2 hours. But
that's a great idea, though.
It makes you conscious of what you're doing. Yeah.
Is that an app?
It's just on the new iPhone 11. So in the setting.
Okay.
That's really good. I think you've got it so slow. It sounds like you've got like, you're going for your, getting your fresh air in the morning, having your time for like your me time, and then setting those boundaries through the day. I think it's really good. I remember reading somewhere that that's a great way of doing it. So like do maybe an hour of work and switch everything else off and get your head down, but then allow yourself like 15 minutes to have a tea break or a stretch or a stroll. Because the other thing I was going to talk about is if people are working from home, people are finding that they're doing more and they're sat at a desk still at work, but different ways that we can exercise or do mobility things at home, because as an average, I think we're all moving a lot less. Like I was looking at my average daily step count the other day, and I normally do at least like 12 to 15,000 steps a day, and I'm doing 6 at the moment, and I'm going out for a walk, and I'm mobile, and I'm exercising, and I'm still not managing to get much higher than that, and I don't really know what more I can do. So for people that aren't massively active anyway, have you got any kind of like tips and stuff for things that people could be doing, or exercises or mobility things at home?
Get a Fitbit. So at 10 to every hour, mine sort of vibrates and says just do 250 steps. Even if you're just getting up, doing it on the spot, just having a walk around the house. I mean, I cleaned the house at the weekend. I did like a really deep clean, and I did 7,000 steps. So,
do you live in a mansion?
I just did a very, very deep clean. Going backwards and forwards out to the bins.
That's like me when someone says they're coming round, when like there's no coronavirus, and someone just says, oh, I'm going to just pop round for a brew. I'm like, and then I have a manic clean and it's like my cardio for the day. So that seems like the time to get there. But I think what I like to do sometimes as well is if you've got a specific workout that you're doing, and you're doing like a circuit of 3 rounds of specific exercises, it's quite good to split that up throughout the day as well, rather than just do it all in the one go. So you could do a little bit in the morning, and then do your second round in the afternoon, and then another round in the evening. You don't have to do it all in one go. And then it gives you that little bit of like a sustained endorphin boost as well throughout the day.
Yeah. And it gives you a bit more energy when you do. Yeah,
and it doesn't have, people think, oh God, I'm going to have to get all sweaty, and then I'm going to have a shower and get changed. And it doesn't even need to be that intense. You just need to move. You just need to move your body, even if it's just like a nice yoga or stretch flow. Because if you're hunched over a desk all day, you get all rounded and tight and back pain. So just like get down on the floor, follow a nice flow off one of the a million different home workouts and yoga exercises there are at the moment.
All these live classes, I've never seen more live classes popping up. getting so many notifications, it's kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, we were saying this, weren't we? There's kind of like, there's so many, you almost don't like log on to any of them because it's, like you say, it's a bit overwhelming. You don't know which one to choose. And when we said it's quite a nice idea to just maybe pick one or two that you like, or different influences you like, and just focus on those, because otherwise there's almost too much.
Yeah, and it can feel a bit like not specific enough for you, can't it? Just going onto YouTube and picking any word. But me and Claire were talking at the when all this started, and we were saying, and when we were talking about putting our live classes on, or doing our like PTs with our current clients, we were really worried, because we just thought, oh, everyone's doing it for free, loads of stuff doing free programs, but no one's going to want to sign up. But we found that our clients do stay loyal. Your clients who know you, and they have stayed loyal, haven't they, Claire? I mean, we've kept a lot of our PTs on, just doing Zoom workouts, and a lot of them are still attending the class, aren't they? So
I think when people pay for something as well, then they've got that commitment and it'll make them show up. Whereas if something's free, people think, yeah, I won't bother. And they want results, then they're probably going to be happy with paying you.
Yeah, definitely.
Laura, where's your first trip to after all this?
Well, like I say, I was supposed to be flying first class to Dubai with Emirates today. So, and then, I know. It's like first world problems, you know what I mean? I'm really looking at these opportunities. Like, I'm not complaining. I'm really grateful that I'm safe and I'm at home and I'm well. But then next month I was supposed to be on a yacht in Turkey, sailing around Turkey for a week, and then Antigua. So I know that all these things are going to be getting rescheduled, and I'm literally never saying no to anything ever again. Ever.
Yeah, that's what I said. Any opportunity that comes up from now on, I'm like, yeah, I'm there.
I'm available.
Oh, that's amazing. It's such amazing things to look forward to. Like, after all of this, we can all really appreciate those things, can't we? And never take anything like that for granted again, like no matter how big or small.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of like plans that I cancel, people get so flaky these days, you cancel on your friends, and I'm like, I will never say no to a night out ever again.
That first night out with everybody is going to be huge, isn't it?
But I feel like everybody seems to be turning into an alcoholic. I think, so I don't really drink at home, but like when we first got put in lockdown, I was having like a couple of glasses of wine like 3 days in a row, and I'm thinking, what am I doing? This isn't even me. So I've no more wine in the house. But I saw this meme, and it said your alcoholic name is your first name and your surname. So I was like, oh my god. But everyone seems to be like drinking more wine. So yeah, I think we need to be conscious of that. I've got a bottle of champagne in the fridge, but I'm not going to open it.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other week, because I was in that habit of just having a couple of glasses of wine every night. And then the more this goes on for, I was kind of like, this just isn't the good idea, having a couple of glasses of wine every single night, because before you know it, it's like I've been drinking every day for 6 weeks, which I never do in normal circumstances since I've been a student. Since not being a student, so, and we've stopped doing that now. I've stopped having wine things in the house. It's just because if it's there and I'm
easy,
bored,
isn't it? Yeah. And if there's a bottle open, you think, oh, I'll just finish that bottle. Yeah, we've stopped doing it now as well.
The next day, I'm like, I feel the effects of it, and I can't. Like, my morning routine is really important to me. So it's like a couple of glasses of wine at night puts me off doing that. I'd rather not have the wine. Save it till the weekend.
I think that plus as well.
Sorry, what is that?
I was just going to say the same thing. Like, I think that does, when you do have those few drinks the night before, I always feel like that next morning, that I find that a harder day, because I'm feeling sluggish and a little bit lethargic, and I find the whole day a little bit more difficult to get through. Whereas if I'm good and I get up and have my routine in the morning or work out, I find the day much easier and I feel far more positive about it. And I think the alcohol does have an effect on that massively.
Definitely.
Sorry, Robbie, what were you going to say?
Gone. I think it was just. I think I was going to say the first few weeks of lockdown, I think people almost were like not treating it like a holiday, because it's definitely not a holiday, but it was always like, oh, I'm at home, or let's open a wine in the garden, or let's that, and that's lovely. But I think eventually when you've got work to do, you do start to think, all right, I can't do this every night. I have still got to work.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was a holiday, definitely. But the thing, like I was saying before, if I had like a 9 to 5 job and I was sent home to be on lockdown and didn't have to work from home, I would feel like I was on holiday. I would be drinking every day. I would be like, you know, having house parties on Zoom and all that every night with my friends and just treating it like a massive break. But because I've run my business from home for so many years, like this is just kind of the norm, really.
I think for businesses though, it might have made them realise that with the right infrastructure, they actually don't need premises and like all the overheads that come with having buildings. I mean, my sister works for housing benefit, which is privatised now down south, and they got rid of all their premises quite a few years ago and made them all home based, give them all the right kit, all the telecommunications and everything, and saved millions in the process. And I think a lot of businesses probably panicked the first week thinking what we're going to do, and then with the right IT and support and things for telecoms, I think there'll be some businesses that might realise they don't need premises.
Yeah, I think a lot of companies will either get rid of them completely or they'll downsize and, like you say, save an absolute fortune. Because what's been interesting about this time is what has been possible in terms of like that companies working from home and seeing that it works well. And what's fascinated me is like radio stations, like massive radio stations, people like Laura Whitmore and Sarah Cox and all these people actually doing the radio from their living rooms or from their offices at home, and it worked. Like it just not made any difference to us, has it? The show's still gone on, and we watched the Netflix series of, you know, the final episode of Tiger King last night, and that was all done during lockdown. So the presenters filmed it from his home. He's done it like this on Zoom calls with all the cast of the documentary and made an actual like Netflix show out of it. And I just think with that, it kind of just proves that almost anything is possible. And this has been a real eye-opener for everyone, I think, and will make a difference further down the line with businesses and companies and how things work.
It'll be interesting to see how people try and go back to what life was like before. So there were so many businesses that said, you know, they weren't into flexible working, they weren't into letting people work from home, and now they haven't got a choice. Like, how are they going to go from the staff proving that you can actually work from home to then being told, no, you've got to work from the office? I think it's going to be like an interesting thing. But on that sort of radio shows and things from home, I put the TV on the other day, which is not something I really do. And Jamie Oliver was cooking live in his kitchen with his kids, and I thought, Jamie Oliver, what a gig! He's getting paid to let us watch him make dinner for his kids. Like, what?
That's well Kushti. Oh, amazing!
Where we all work. Those of like, I know those that are already working from home, it's kind of no different in that sense. But I think for everybody else, I think it'll have massive implications for how businesses operate moving forward. Even for us, what's been really interesting for us is we've always struggled fitting in PT sessions for pregnant clients, because most of them are still in work, but then come the evening, they're knackered, they can't be asked driving out to the gym to meet us and so on. And we found that the Zoom PT, doing it on Zoom with pregnant women, has been brilliant because we can be more flexible. They're not having to go out the house and drive. And I think moving forward, that'll be something that we keep going.
That's
which
good.
I don't know why
as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know why we've not considered it in the past. There's some things that I just think, why have we not thought about?
Yeah.
It's a crisis for us to realise we can FaceTime our friends if we can't meet up.
I've never literally Zoomed my friends so much in my entire life. Like every Friday now we have quiz night, and we would never have done that previously, but now it's like a thing, and I think things like that will continue, which is lovely as well, isn't it? It's that way of connecting with people that you wouldn't normally see that often, but actually it's just prove how easy it is and actually how uplifting it is and how nice it is to connect with everybody.
It's like me last week, I think. Sorry, I think it's like I was saying last week. My dad's FaceTimed me every day since this, and we go 2 weeks without seeing each other before. And I've honestly got nothing to say. I've run out of things to say. We both just sit there like smiling at the camera because nothing's happening. So I've got no more news, but I've seen his face more than ever, which is nice.
So cute. Yeah, the thing that I'm finding interesting about it is seeing which companies are really thriving, and I'm like, damn, I wish it was me that set up Netflix, or damn, I wish I created Zoom. everyone is downloading Zoom and Netflix and House Party and all these apps.